An often question that we get asked, is it ERP for pure O any different? That's what we're exploring today. What we're doing is always going the opposite way of what the OCD wants us to do. I'm Jaime from the Online Therapy Clinic. I'm an ERP therapist, CBT and EMDR. Let's start today. So, ERP, or Exposure Response Prevention. You've tuned in to the last series of over 15 videos. And from today, we are looking at specific adaptations or explanations of how ERP works for different approaches. Today is pure O, which isn't actually that different from any exposure you do for any other obsessive compulsive disorder or the subtypes of them. The structure is the same. You expose yourself to your fears, your fear thoughts, images, urges, your sensations, and you resist the urge to perform or neutralize those in your mind with your compulsions. And there is one ingredient that often gets left out, and this is the one that makes ERP really powerful for pure O and for any other approach. It's doing just the opposite of what OCD wants you to do or wants us to do. Let me explain. When you expose yourself to a feared thought, sensation, urge, and intrusion of any type, OCD will immediately try to pull you back into your safety mode. It'll push you to escape, to neutralize, to feel better in the short term. That might mean replacing the thought, distracting yourself, or mentally undoing it. Short term, you feel better. Long term, if you've been following the series, you know exactly what happens. It gets worse and it continues the cycle. So here is the trick when you're thinking about pure O. Asking ourselves, what does my OCD desperately want me to do in my mind right now? And then what we do is we take our learning from exposure and response prevention and we do the opposite. We do exactly what the OCD wants us not to do. Let's say you have an image of an devil or an evil person. You expose yourself by looking at the picture of the devil or to thinking about this person. And OCD might urge you to replace the picture with an angel. Something soothing, comforting, something that cancels the bad or makes the fear reduce. And instead of doing that, we sit with that. We go one step further. We draw the picture of a devil. We write the word devil. We stick a note and put your phone next to devil. You imagine 6 devils instead of 1. We will be very imaginative. You can be as imaginative as you want to be, right? Why? Because you're doing the opposite of what your OCD telling you to do or avoid in your mind. You're reclaiming your own life. You're setting your rules. You're showing your brain that the discomfort isn't dangerous and it's your OCD that is making it feel that way. Now, we know as therapists in the Online Therapy Clinic that this sounds tough and sometimes counterintuitive because it is unpleasant. The research, as we have spoke so far, it continues to show that this is the way you feel better and OCD reduces, right? And of course, we can't imagine every intrusion. We can't imagine every cognitive, mental, pure O compulsion because absolutely, my true belief about humans is we are really highly resilient. We are very inventive. So we are going to invent whatever it takes for us to survive. So every time we see someone new, we come across new things they design, new things they come up with so they can feel safe. In the short term, the distress, the uncomfortableness, the safeness comes up. The long term, it continues. So, opposite action, ERP, doing what it takes, and then stay with it, right? So you can also do imagining the fear scenario, imagining the worst case scenario. That's in your mind. And any thoughts that are in your mind and any behaviors that follow, you stay away from it. You do the opposite. It's not easy. Of course it's not easy. It would not be easy. If it wouldn't be hard, if it would be easy, you wouldn't be suffering. It wouldn't be easy. people would able to do it without no pain if we would agree. So hope this has given you a bit more picture of how this is now so different from normal ERP. And once again, it's always helpful to have you connected to the channel. Hope you enjoyed and check our next following videos. Thank you.